Mr. Richard?
Here.
Mr. Willie?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Fitzmaurice?
Here.
Mr. Doherty? Mr. Drum? Mr. Randolph, thank you. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, we would respectfully ask for you to silence all phones and electronic devices. If you wish to appeal any recommendation of this commission, appeals cards are to our right. If you wish to speak in front of the commission, we respectfully ask that you fill out a speaker's card and give it to staff. Each side will be provided 10 minutes with 5 minutes of rebuttal. Lastly, at the end of the case, we would ask that you exit the building as if you just go back into the foyer. It does echo into the chamber. This time, we would ask you to rise for the invocation by Commissioner Randolph, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Davis.
Gracious Father, once again, we come to you to say thank you for all the blessings you bestowed on our lives. You watched over and protected us and our families and our homes all day. And Lord, you got us to this point in time, and we thank you. We thank you for this commission. We thank you for the concerned citizens that's in the audience and all those that we represent in this entire parish. Bless our government and allow us to make decisions that's in the best interest of all. In all these blessings we ask in your holy name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioners, in your packets are the minutes from the July 12th, 2016. I'll entertain any motion. Commissioner Dougherty.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dougherty to approve, second by Commissioner Randolph. Pardon me? Third by Commissioner Drum. Any further comments? Please vote. Motion carries. This is a public hearing. The public is encouraged to speak for or in opposition of any of the cases presented this evening. Entering parish right-of-way, servitudes and easements. Entering parish right-of-way, Viola and Bays Streets. Ward 4, District 5. Request to enter parish right-of-way for the purpose of laying and connecting sewer and water. The debtor, Montgomery Trace Development Corporation. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Reichert Taladano. Staff.
Permission to enter parish right-of-way, specifically a portion of Viola and Bay, for the purpose of laying and connecting 6-inch sewer force main and 8-inch water main.
Is the petitioner here? Please come to the podium, state your name and address.
Name's Alex Williams with Deep South Design Group, 1450 Natchez Loop, Covington, Louisiana, here on behalf of the owner of the project.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of this request? Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Davis.
Yeah, I have a question. I don't have a problem with the access to the property itself. I see in the information you sent us, you got a proposed town home development?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and your underlying zoning is A3. So you'll have to come up to this board and ask for a rezoning.
I don't have a whole lot to do with the townhome
Okay,
project itself, and I do
Okay.
understand, my understanding was that they had the zoning resolved, but that may not be the case.
Okay,
Like
well,
I said,
I was just-
I'm the guy to do the water and sewer extensions and
Okay.
not involved in the
well, all right,
townhome, so.
all right, well, anyway, I was just going to make a mention of that, that's all.
Yes, sir.
But I make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Davis to approve, second by Commissioner Fitzmaurice. Commissioner Dougherty.
Yes, staff on the second page there, item 9, the petitioner to submit as-built drawings certifying that the fiber optic cables are constructed in accordance with the approved drawings.
Yeah, that's a typographical error that we're going to have to.
Needs to be removed?
It needs to be for water and sewer lines.
Oh, okay, water and sewer, all right.
I know.
We haven't started yet. Thank you. Are there any other comments or questions? If not, we have a motion by Commissioner Davis to approve, second by Commissioner Fitzmaurice. Please vote. As amended. Motion carries. Thank you. Entering Parish right-of-way, Viola Street. They want to pull it to the front. Okay, can I finish this one? Okay. Entering Parish right-of-way, Viola Street and Olean Drive, Ward 4, District 5. Request to enter Parish right-of-way for the purpose of laying and connecting water. Debtor, J. Tayberry. Parish Council Representative, the Honorable Reichert Taladano. Staff?
This permission to enter the parish right-of-way, specifically a portion of Viola Street and Olean Drive, for the purpose of laying and connecting 8-inch water main.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here?
Alex Williams, Deep South Design, 1450 Natchez Loop, Covington, Louisiana. Same situation here. I've been asked to do the water main extension, the design on that, and here to represent the owner.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? If you would, please come to the podium, sir. State your name and address.
I just want to know,
If you would state your name and address.
David LaCour and 2045 Olean, 2055 Olean. And they haven't put no fire hydrant or nothing there. This house has been vacant next door, and they're trying to make a hospice house out of it, where old people come there and die. And so they want to bring a water line to there. They never have no water line there. It's all well water and sewage treatment plants. So we're trying to find out what they're trying to do next door. And I keep calling the permit office, and they say they don't have no permits for anything to do anything, but it's supposed to be like that hospice house on Dog Pound Road. So this is what we're trying to find out.
Is what they're doing at that
Right.
facility? Staff?
I'd have to check on any status of a permit, but I'm not.
Yeah,
aware
that's
of
a,
that.
that's a land use issue, and so under the zoning process, like I said, I don't happen to know or recollect. I'll talk to Helen tomorrow about it, but it's not pertinent to this request.
This is just the right-of-way.
Yeah, I would suggest, sir, that maybe tomorrow you contact our planning department. I'll give you the phone number. You can ask for Helen Lambert. She might be able to fill you in and see if she knows any information on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the question, sir. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Casabon?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Casabon to approve, second by Commissioner Lauren. Commissioner Dougherty.
Yes, we have the same issue on item 9, needs to be changed from fiber optic to sewage and water. And I do have a question on the previous one and this one. Is there any warranty obligations on these?
There's a performance obligation that'll be established, and since this is water and sewer infrastructure, the utility company will accept it into their system
Then they'll
before.
handle any warranty
Yeah,
obligations?
so there won't be a warranty obligation, it's just a
Okay,
performance.
but if it fails after the performance obligation, then the
The
sewage and
utility
water
company is
will-
yeah, they'll fix it
Okay.
at that time.
Thank you.
Motion is
And-
amended.
And this one should be amended for water only, there's no sewer.
Yeah. I'll amend it per water only,
As amended.
as amended.
We have a motion by Commissioner Casabon to approve as amended, second by Commissioner Lauren. Please vote. Motion carries. We've had a request under re-subdivision to move a case up for the convenience of the petitioner, and as chair, we will honor that request. So I would ask you to go to page 2 of the agenda, re-subdivision review. Case is 2016-362-MRP, Tammany Forest, Block 2, lots 9 through 13, and the lots 10A, 12A, and 13A, Ward 7, District 7. The petitioner, Christopher M. Salat et al., surveyor, J.V. Burks and Associates, Inc., the owner, Christopher M. Salat et al., Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Jacob Groby. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicants are proposing to combine 5 lots into 3 lots. The reason for this proposal, as the staff understands it, is due to some encroachment issues relative to some improvements located on the 5 parcels. If you take a look at your survey plat, those improvements are shown or depicted there. The reason why a public hearing is required is due to the fact that lots 12 and 13 are being made somewhat smaller in size in favor of creating a much larger parcel to the rear, consisting of lots 9, 10, 11, and portions of lots 12 and 13. And even though lots 12 and 13 are being made somewhat smaller, the lot widths have not changed, and the reduced depth of each lot still appears to be adequate enough to provide acceptable building envelopes. Therefore, for the reasons as mentioned above, the staff has no objections to the proposed re-subdivision request.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here? If you please come to the podium and state your name and address, ma'am.
Sharon Yost, 301 West Honors Point Court in Slidell.
And the reason for your request, ma'am?
We've got I'm a realtor representing Mr. Sales, and he's got an encroachment which would have rendered the property unmarketable.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the petitioner? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Davis.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Davis to approve, second by Commissioner Casabon. Any further questions? Seeing none, we have a motion by Commissioner Davis to approve, second by Commissioner Casabon. Please vote. Motion carries. Back to page 1, minor subdivisions. 2016-354-MSP. A portion of parcel 4 into parcels 4A, 4B, and 4C, Ward 9, District 13. The owner, Bobby Torres. Surveyor, R.W. Krebs Professional Land Surveying, LLC. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable S. Michelle Blanchard. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The owner is proposing to take the remainder of parcel 4, which consists of approximately 95 acres, and create 3 parcels. If you look at your survey attached, those cross-hatch areas represents out parcels that are residual parcels that are not part of this proposal. And since the proposed private drive, which they will be providing only to 1 parcel, which is parcel 4B, known as Lakeshore Marina Drive, since they're only providing the 1, they were exempt from meeting the parish minimum road construction standards. And since the proposed minor subdivision meets all other code requirements, the staff has no objections to the proposed re-subdivision request.
Thank you. The petitioner's here?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Wayne A. Collier, 1137 Marina Drive, Slidell, Louisiana. I think the staff has adequately explained the simple nature of this transaction.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Dougherty.
Yes, I'd move to approve as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Dougherty to approve, second by Commissioner Fitzmaurice. Any further discussion? Please vote. Motion carries. 2016-356-MSP, a 14.02 acre parcel into parcels A and B, Ward 2, District 6. The owner, Adrian G. Spell, Jr., Surveyor Land Surveying, LLC. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Richard Tanner. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The owner is proposing to re-subdivide their property into 2 parcels. However, parcel B does not meet the minimum 300-foot road frontage requirement for the A1 zoning district. The applicant has the ability to combine, or to simply comply with Parish Code, since the parent parcel has frontage on two public roadways, House Creek and Martha Sharp Roads. Therefore, the staff recommends that the applicant be required to increase the lot frontage of parcel B an additional 100 feet in order to meet Parish Code. However, if the commission decides to approve this request without requiring the minimum frontage, a waiver of the regulations are required relative to the lot width issue, and a 2/3 majority vote of the full membership, which is 8 members, are needed in order to approve the waiver pursuant to Section 40-100 waiver regulations of subdivision ordinance 499.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here? If you please state your name and address for the record.
Adrian Spell, 83432 House Creek Road, Bush, Louisiana.
And, sir, the reason for your request?
Because my property right there is a lot deeper on that section, and I didn't want to lose all that road right there.
We're surveying off, he's surveying off an acre for me to build a home on the 1 acre lot.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Davis.
Question for staff. The underlying zoning is A1, correct? We re-subdivide this, then you have a 1 acre on an A1 property, is that correct?
Yeah, under the density, if you remember, under the density zoning district of A1, you have to maintain a density of 1 unit per 5 acres, so they are allowed to make a smaller lot. And if you also look on the survey, we require them to put a revision, a notation on the plat to basically identify that fact.
Okay, but if it gets to the point where they keep asking for like little 1 acre lots, and eventually it's gonna come up to a density problem.
That's correct. That's
Okay,
correct.
thank you.
Commissioner Casabon.
Yes, I'm okay with this. I'm familiar with this area, and I understand what he's talking about keeping his road, the more of the frontage. And this is probably one of the larger areas. There's a lot more smaller, lots in there. I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Casabon, second by,
We'd have to do the waiver.
correct. Second by Commissioner Willie. Commissioner Randolph? No. Commissioner Dougherty?
Yes, the road, Martha Sharp Road, runs across the front of the property. And to staff, maybe legal, did the parish acquire the right-of-way across this area of the lot?
That was, you talking about you talking about Martha Sharp Road?
That's correct.
Yeah, that was a concern that I had. It was my understanding from talking to the surveyor initially that the piece on the other side of Sharp Road is their property. And of course, the roadway itself is parish property. So the combined amount of area that they have to have is 1 acre less that 20-foot strip that runs through their property. I have to confirm with the surveyor that is indeed, he did indeed exclude that 20-foot strip so that 1 acre is being maintained.
Okay, so I guess the original property owner of the 1402 acres gave the parish permission to locate the road there?
I have no idea. I mean, that's an old road. I don't know too much about that roadway, but that is a common occurrence with old roadways, that they cross property lines and are established that way. Then once Parish takes maintenance, we basically own that strip of land.
It's probably a tacit dedicated road.
Probably.
Probably what?
A tacit dedicated road.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Commissioner Richard.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Creek Road is asphalt as well, and it's a parish road. It connects right there at that corner to Martha Sharp Road?
Yes.
Correct.
And so the reason you can't comply with the 300-foot frontage is because you don't want to drive near that corner? I mean, I'm trying to
I just
understand.
don't want to give up all of my road frontage on that section of property because it's so narrow right there.
But it's two public roads. I mean, there's an intersection, well, I don't even know if it's an intersection. It's
It would
hard to
only leave like a very small, if we did the whole 300, it would only leave a very small portion. He still owns the majority of the land, and he would be donating the 1 acre to me to build a home.
Yeah, I fully understand what he's trying to do, and I applaud that. I'm just trying to understand, we're being asked to approve something that's not in compliance, and I want to make sure I fully understand this. You know, House Creek Road is a parish road, is another?
Correct.
That's more
It's
road
the
frontage?
main road.
It's the main road, so you want to be able to have access to your property not on the main road, off the main road.
Right.
Okay.
I
Thank
was
you.
just going to say that Commissioner Tanner lives on House Creek Road about a half a mile from them. So he, is aware of what they're requesting.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Richardson?
Yes, this family has owned this property, I know, for 100 years, and they're not going to do anything that's not conducive to their satisfaction to the whole community. I'm in favor of this.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments? If not, we have a motion by Commissioner Casabon to approve, a second by Commissioner Willie. It does take a 2/3 vote or 8 votes to grant the variance. Please vote. Motion carries.
Thank you.
2016-358-MSP, a 19.26 acre parcel into parcels A and B, Ward 2, District 3. The owner, John B. and Cam Alliday, surveyor, LS Land Surveying LLC. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable James Red Thompson. Staff?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Similar kind of request from the previous one. The owner is proposing to re-subdivide their property into 2 parcels. However, parcel B does not meet the minimum 300-foot road frontage requirement for the A1 zoning district, since the public roadway terminates at the front of the parcel with a cul-de-sac. Through no fault of their own, though, the applicant has no other options to access their property other than through the cul-de-sac. And since said access does not appear to hinder access to the property or cause any adverse impacts to surrounding properties, the staff has no objection to the proposed re-subdivision request. If the commission decides to approve this request, a waiver of the regulations are required relative to the parcel width issue, and a 2/3 majority vote of the commission members, 8 members, is required in order to approve.
Is the petitioner here? If you please come to the podium, state your name and address.
Cam Olan, 1555 3 Arendelle Drive, Folsom, Louisiana.
Thank you. And the reason for your request?
We're wanting to subdivide the property to separate our home from the rest of our farm so that we can have parcel 1, the house, parcel 2 will be the farm. And we're requesting the waiver to have the 300 feet of the parish frontage to be waived.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Willie.
Being that the cul-de-sac issue and the fact that we still have 2 large parcels, I move for approval.
We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Willie, second by Commissioner Casabon. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Right, with the waiver, it'll take 8 votes. Motion carries. 2016-359-MSP, a 10.13 acre parcel into parcels A and B, Ward 5, District 6. The owner, Robert and Janice Barty. The surveyor, LS Land Surveying LLC. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Richard Tanner. Staff?
Thank you. The owner is proposing to re-subdivide their property into 3 parcels. However, the parcels do not meet the minimum 150-foot road frontage requirement for the A2 zoning district. However, all 3 parcels are deficient by only 5 feet or less in meeting the width requirement and meet all other aspects of parish code. Therefore, the staff has no objections to the proposed re-subdivision request. However, if the commission decides to grant a waiver of the minimum requirements are required relative to the lot width issue, a 2/3 majority vote of the membership is required, 8 members, in order to approve the waiver.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here? If you please come to the podium, state your name and address.
I'm confused, it's not the right name. The
It was,
360 is Marlene Blackwell.
I'm sorry, what is the correct name?
That should, so the,
petitioner.
The petitioner? Ma'am, what is the right name?
Oh, from Marlene Blackwell?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's the right name, right?
Where did you read whatever you
No?
were reading?
I'm reading right here.
Oh, that's the
That's the right facts.
No,
Why are-
what case are you referring to?
I'm reading,
59, the one that got.
59 was, if you remember, I sent an email out to everybody, that was removed from the agenda.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just read
I'm
that
sorry,
one from,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I was,
It's not on the agenda, it's on.
It's
Yeah,
on my
it's on
agenda.
yours.
yeah,
Okay.
and it was removed from tonight's agenda. too.
Okay.
It's on his because he's using
I
his draft
have,
copy.
Yeah, it was on your draft agenda.
Okay.
yes.
They withdrew that request.
Okay.
So
Now we
I
gotta-
read 360, and that was the case that I just read.
Okay.
The staff report for.
All right, let's put the report then with the case. I apologize for reading the case on my draft agenda. Oh, it really was a case. I didn't make it up.
It was a case.
Yeah, it was. Okay, let's try this again. Case 2016-360-MSP, a 5.03 acre parcel into parcels A, B, and C, Ward 10, District 6. The owner, Marlene Blackwell, surveyor John G. Cummings and Associates, Inc., Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Richard Tanner. Staff has read the report.
You're not going to make him read it again?
No. If the petitioner would be so kind to come to the podium.
Sarah Blackwell Norman, and my address is 22470 Ray Keene Road, Covington, Louisiana.
Thank you. And the reason for your request?
The reason is we, as staff has said, we do not meet the minimum frontage by 4 and 6 feet, and we are requesting a minimum frontage waiver. We do meet the minimum acre requirement on that piece. I have my mother and my sisters are here. They are the ones who are going to also have this property. It's divided into 3 parcels for 3 siblings.
Thank you.
Okay?
Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the petition? You don't have to if you don't want.
They're not going to speak.
Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it back to the commission. Commissioner Lauren?
Yes. If you look at the total frontage on the property, you're only talking about something like 12 feet from end to end, meeting the total requirement. I have no problem with it, and I make a motion to approve with waiver.
Motion by Commissioner Lauren to approve with the waiver, second by Commissioner Richardson. All the lights went out. We have a motion by Commissioner Lauren to approve with the waiver, second by Commissioner Richardson. Please vote.
You're the one using the draft copy.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Petitions, requests, we have none. Entering the Tammany Trace, we have none. Revocations, closing review, we have none. We've already done the subdivision review. Dormant subdivision review, we have none. Tentative subdivision review, we have none. Preliminary subdivision review. 2016-348-PP. Beatico Creek, Parcel 8, Ward 1, District 1. Developer owner, Beatico Creek Preserve LLC. Engineer, Kelly McCune and Associates, Inc., Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Marty Dean. Staff?
Preliminary plans have been reviewed by this office and an inspection of the site was made. It's recommended that the preliminary submittal be approved. No maintenance obligation is required since this is a private subdivision. No mandatory developmental fees will be required at final in accordance with Subdivision Ordinance 499 since a public hearing was held prior to January 1st, 2005.
Thank you. Mr. Marone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Paul Marone on behalf of Beatico Creek Preserve. This parcel 8 is encompassed within and surrounded by infrastructure that was already put in place for another phase, so we're just simply coming to you tonight for the preliminary and then the final on parcel 8, which you'll have on your agenda next, to plat these 11 lots. So we would respectfully request your approval of preliminary.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Casabon.
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve. This is continuation of, I think, the beautiful lots in Beatico Creek.
Motion
Subject to staff comments.
Motion by Commissioner Casabon to approve, second by Commissioner Willie. Any further comment? Please vote. Motion carries. Final subdivision review, 2016-349-FP, Beatico Creek, Parcel 8, Ward 1, District 1. Developer owner, Beatico Creek Preserve, LLC. Engineer, Kelly McHugh and Associates, Inc. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Marty Dean. Staff?
Periodic inspections have been made by this office during construction, and the final inspection was made on July 27, 2016. The inspection disclosed that all concrete roads, road shoulders, and the roadside ditches are located within Parcel 11. Should the Planning Commission approve the request for final approval, no warranty obligation will be required for the infrastructure since all infrastructure is located within Parcel 11. The staff recommends approval of the proposed final subdivision request.
Mr. Moran.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, just ask for your final approval for these 11 lots in Beatico Creek for Parcel 8.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public, bring it to the commission. Commissioner Casabon.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Casabon to approve. Second. Second by Commissioner Richardson. Any further comment? Seeing none, please vote. Motion carries. 2016-350-FP, Beatico Creek, Parcel 11, Ward 1, District 1. Developer owner, Beatico Creek Preserve, LLC. Engineer, Kelly McHugh and Associates, Inc. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Marty Dean. Staff.
Periodic inspections have been made by this office during construction, and the final inspection was made on July 27, 2016. The inspection disclosed that 95% of the concrete roads are constructed, road shoulders need to be constructed, and the roadside ditches need to have final grading. The following uncompleted items existed at the time of final inspection and will be completed before plats are signed. 1, need concrete test results. 2, need utility trench bedding test results. 3, need utility trench backfill test results. 4, floppy disk or latest format. 5, street name signs. 6, need traffic signs. 7, need blue reflectors. 8, complete concrete roadways at 2 intersections and 2 cul-de-sacs. 9, roadway shoulders need to be constructed. 10, roadside ditches need to have final grading. 11, need 911 addresses. 12, need benchmark. 13, remove the notes on the typical street section regarding the clearing outside of the right-of-way. 14, upon completion of the concrete roadway, show that all roadways have been completed. 15, remove the notes on the typical street section regarding the clearing outside of the right-of-ways. It appears that that note was a duplicate. Sewer and water 16, a negative bacteriological report relative to the construction of the project's water system has not yet been issued by DHH as required by Section 4070 of the Subdivision Regulatory Ordinance 499. 17, a letter of acceptance and responsibility for the perpetual maintenance and operation of the water and sewer system has not yet been issued by the utility provider as required. Should the Planning Commission approve the request for final approval, a warranty obligation will be required for the infrastructure in the amount of 4,800 linear feet times $25 per linear foot for $120,000 for a period of 2 years. The staff recommends approval of the proposed final subdivision request subject to the developer complying with all comments, and no plats are to be signed until all items are satisfactorily completed. No mandatory developmental fees are required since a public hearing was held prior to January 1st, 2005.
Mr. Marone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Paul Marone again on behalf of Beatico Creek Preserve, this time for what I believe is the last portion of parcel 11. The staff's last inspection at the end of July, obviously we were not quite as far along as we had hoped. To say that we've had problems with the weather and the rain in completing some of these punch list items would be an understatement. It's been about the wettest stretch for the end of July and August that I can recall. So that has put us behind where we had hoped to be at the time of their inspection. However, since that time, in the intervening weeks, we have made significant progress on the items that are on this punch list. And I'd like to go through an update as to where we are in each of those. The main thing that I would tell you is that the field work, i.e. the putting in of the roads, the road shoulders, and the ditches are all done. The roads are completed. The only field work that is left to be completed is the final grade on the ditches and dressing of the roadside shoulders. We were in the process of doing that today when we again had to pull off because of the rain. We are, if we get a little dry weather, the contractor assured me this afternoon that that is about 3 days from start to finish, and he can have all of the final grades in, and he can have the shoulders dressed. We just need the Lord to stop the rain for just long enough for us to get in there and get that finished. Other than that, all of the field work is completed. With regards to the general comments, the concrete test results are in and have been submitted. The utility trench bedding and backfill test results are not needed based on the fact that it was installed after having been proof rolled. That process was utilized, which means we will not have to produce those tests. Street signs, traffic signs, and reflectors are all installed and in place as I speak to you this evening. Again, the concrete roads are in, the roadway shoulders are constructed, need final dressing, and we do still have to do the final grade on the ditches, as I mentioned. All of the plat revisions have been done and are prepared. The as-built are in the process of being done. We finished the last pour on the streets over the weekend, and we need to get those final grades in so that we can shoot the as-built. So that is in the process of being done on the roadways, and once the grade of the ditch is done, that will be finished. Other than that, we are completed. Had we had an opportunity to get a little bit more dry weather so that we could have finished before the 27th inspection, the list would have looked much different. We've worked hard since that time to pare down the items, and as I said, all of the heavy lifting is done. It's a matter of some of the fine tuning. We just need a little dry weather to do that, and we'll be finished and prepared to submit the final plats to your staff and have a final inspection. I'll be happy to answer any of the questions that the commissioners may have, but we would respectfully request your approval, subject to these outstanding items being completed to your staff's satisfactory before any plats are signed or filed.
Thank you, Mr. Marone. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Seeing none, I close it to the public and I bring it to the commission. Commissioner Randolph.
Motion to approve, subject to the outstanding items that need to be completed, depending on the rain.
Motion by Commissioner Randolph to approve, second by Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Loren.
Yes, I guess the question I have is for the staff. We've got two cases with the same number but different parcels. Is that normal? I don't remember doing that before.
Say that again?
If you look at the previous case, it was 2016 350 FP. In this case, it's 2016 350 FP.
No, the one before covers 349.
349.
Pardon?
The one before was 349.
There is a typo on my staff report too, showing
On the
2016.
On the draft, the draft report's right.
Pardon?
On the,
The draft is.
on the draft is,
Don't look at me, that's me.
so on the final, there's a typo? Okay, let the record
The one
reflect.
I had, the draft that was mailed to me, that carried the same number, but it's two different parcels.
You mean 11 and 8, and it had the same, 11 and 8 had the same number, is
Yeah.
what you're saying?
It's
Okay.
a typo in the agenda here. I
That's
assure
why I
you
was
it
asking,
doesn't.
that's not
yeah,
normal. I mean,
Yeah. It doesn't have the same subdivision
just so
number.
long as we know what we do.
Yeah.
Commissioner Richard.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Question for Jay. Paul was talking about, under the general section, I think the utility trench bedding and backfill test results, they didn't need it because of some methodology they use. Is that a correct statement? Because we're about to approve it subject to those comments.
Yes, if the only utility trench backfill test, if they had their proof roll done over the roadway and it passed the proof roll, then they wouldn't need the trench backfill tests on those sections.
So those-
that'll be something that we'll check with our inspector. and
Okay,
we'll
but
know.
those would otherwise be stricken, so
Yeah.
they don't need to complete that. All right, thank you.
Commissioner Randolph. Commissioner Lauren.
Oh, I'm sorry,
I'm feeling like a ping pong ball here. Told you, they're messing with me tonight. No further questions. We have a motion by Commissioner Randolph to approve, second by Commissioner Davis. Please vote. Motion carries. Proposed amendments to ordinance 499, we have none. Old business, entering parish right-of-way, Center Bar Street, Ward 8, District 13. Parish Council District Representative, the Honorable Michelle Blanchard. Request by debtor for an extension of time. Staff.
Honorable Commissioners, the above referenced resolution was adopted on January 12, 2016. The resolution states that the petitioner must submit all documentation within 6 months from the date of adoption. The petitioner has not furnished all documentation required within the 6-month period and is requesting an extension of time. See attached letter dated July 21, 2016. Since the time has expired for the petitioner to furnish all documentation, the following action is required by the Planning Commission to allow the petitioner to proceed with the project. Extend the adoption date to 8/9/2016, thereby extending the 6-month submittal of documentation to 2/9/2017 and the completion date to 8/9/2018.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here? Please come to the podium, state your name and address, sir.
Jimmy Laurent, 28750 Montana Drive, Lacombe, Louisiana.
And the reason for your request, sir?
Excuse me?
The reason for the request?
The insurance requirements were not in place at the time the 6 months expired. But to the best of my knowledge, everything has been approved by the parish and it's all been turned in.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to speak in favor of the request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Hearing none, I close it to the public, bring it to the commission. Commissioner Dougherty?
Mr. Ron, the 6-month requirement, I'm down here. The 6-month requirement that you had, what have you turned in and why didn't you have it turned in to staff prior to tonight?
Everything was turned in, and I had a gentleman that wanted to purchase it, and he drug it out for almost 3.5 months. That killed me for 3.5 months, so by the time I got back to work on it, for misunderstanding on my part about the insurance requirements. So by the time I got them in, it was like 2 days late.
Okay, so everything, Jay, has been turned in basically to you now?
It's my understanding that there are still a few other outstanding items, but it shouldn't be a problem with a 6-month extension to get them completed.
Okay, because I really don't want to see this again in 6 months, Mr. Ryan.
I did call Darnell last week, and she assured me that everything had been turned in.
Well,
That was confirmed by Darnell.
Darnell doesn't, she's not in charge of getting everything together. She's just looking for the insurance.
I mean, there's different
requirements.
departments. I'm just trying to get it done.
I know, I understand. I would say he needs the full 6 months, though, and if you don't want to see it again.
Okay, well, I don't have a problem with the 6 months.
Okay.
Okay, I do have a problem that it has drug out to the point that we're having to basically redo this for another 6 months. And my comment was, I don't want to see it again on our agenda in 6 months.
Understood.
Okay, all right. I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dougherty to approve, second by Commissioner Davis. Any further comments? Please vote. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any new business to come before the commission? Entertain a motion to adjourn.